Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to go over a couple of different emails I've got in just to kind of help people that have sent in stuff. First one is from Gavin Bathan, and he is saying that he's a student at school, this year every student has to do a personal project that we do throughout the school year. My project is that I will be researching 5 different kinds of photography and talk about the history, famous photographers, and their photos. And as a challenge, I will take sample of my work to go with it. Okay, I have found 3 already: HDR, panoramic, and black and white. Okay, those are 3 kinds of photography. I don't know if you really call it, well, kinds of photography. Okay, if you mind, can you suggest 2 more kinds of photography? I don't know if you could really say panoramic, black and white, and HDR are kinds. Kinds of photography. Ooh, okay, this is one for all of you to help. What's the difference between kinds, types, styles, and genres of photography? 5 different kinds of photography. That's a very difficult question because you could be talking about genres, and is that talking about modernism, postmodernism, or actually what would be a really good one is if you are ever looking for stuff about the different types of photography throughout the years, this book, The Genius of Photography, is a really good example where it really shows you it from the very beginning. Yeah, all the way from when it started out in France or wherever it was, to all the different types. Let's see. Yeah, this is probably a good book to have a little look at that. But I would say, yeah, you've got different... as a difficult one to explain, I would say, because you've got ideas of, yeah, black and white, HDR, panoramics, that ways of editing certain types of photos. You've also got different... like portrait or fashion or sports or thing. What are they? Are they the genres of photography? Types of photography? Levels of photography? Oh, you've got a tough one here. I am not too sure. I would say read this book. This is a good one to get. I think you can get it on eBay for not too much. But a good book, I think. I've read half of it, got bored of it. But I'm sure it is a good book if you can be bothered reading. Here's a very good one. Flash advice for the Nikon D7000. Simple one is, I'm looking to purchase my first flash or flashes. I'm fairly new to photography and I have limited funds. My question is, should I invest in an expensive high-end single flash, e.g. the SB900? This guy, SB900. I've got a couple of these. Or would it be better off picking up 2 cheaper third-party flashes, METs for example, with my primary interest is portraits. I would like to make use of the CLS wireless modes. Again, this is where we need all of your help here, everyone. Does the other flashes, like METs and the other ones, do they support CLS? I know some of them support TTL, which is effectively when you've got the flash on top of the camera, it will be able to understand what the camera is saying to it, so it says, look, TTL, do it as if it is your normal flash. But I'm not sure many of them will support CLS, Creative Lighting, which is Nikon's creative lighting system. And that's the way that the Nikon communicates with its flashes, with their little kind of sensors here and the pulses of flash from the camera, either the camera's pop-up flash or one of these on top acting as commander. So what I can say is yes, you absolutely can use cheaper flashes. Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! I was just saying with a mum on the phone there. Leaving the best to last. Okay, and the last question for this video is from Chabito. This is, I'm starting a wedding photography business, my brother and I. My brother is using a Canon 40D with 70 to 200mm, and I'm using a 550D with a 51.8. Okay, so you've got 2 photographers, 2 cameras, 2 lenses. I would like to ask a question or advice. If it is possible that we could start this small, because you're probably meaning, is it possible that we could start this small? Because here in the Philippines, speciality in the provinces, photographers aren't first on the shopping list for couples who plan to get married. I would also like to ask for pricing tips, or shall I say, how do I rate my price? Okay, right. What are you asking here? Okay, how much do you charge? How much do you need to charge? And then add a bit more. I don't know. That's entirely up to yourself. I've done a couple of videos already about how much it costs to be a photographer, things that you have to factor in when you're doing a photo shoot. And there's also another video from somebody else on the blog link, which gives you a great tip of how to advertise your prices. It's really good. Check the blog link below. Is it possible to start the business small? Yes, I guess it is. I think that's what you're asking. But a little bit of advice. All my weddings are usually through word of mouth. Initially, when I started out, I paid a fortune for an advert in a wedding book or wedding directory. In the UK, there's loads of brides get married all the time, and there's lots of magazines out now for telling people, you know, this is the best flower people, this is the best venues, these are our photos from our wedding, and all that kind of stuff. And I spent a fortune on let's see, is it in this one? I don't think it is, but it was roughly, I think it was about £700 for what was a half-page advert. Took over the bottom. £700. And did I get anything from it? Nothing. Absolutely nothing whatsoever. Where is it? Maybe it wasn't this book magazine. Maybe there's another one. But yeah. So for me, after spending £700 for a half-page advert, for me being a wedding photographer and getting nothing back from it, what I spend my money on, if you want to start small, don't spend a fortune on advertising initially. I say spend a fortune on getting business cards, going out to the wedding, doing the wedding, giving every guest a business card so that they can go to your website, and then just giving the best service you possibly can so that people go, who was that photographer? Brilliant, let's go get him again. And it's through word of mouth. It's far more impressive business-wise than an advert in one magazine, or 2 magazines, or 3 magazines, or however many magazines that you want to do. But yeah, it's an expensive game if you want to start advertising, and these magazines charge a fortune. So £700 for a half page, I think that for the person at the back would have been about £2,000, and that is just for winter. So 4 of these a year. That's one of the reasons why wedding photographers charge a fortune, because if they're advertising, that's easily a wedding's amount of profit that you're making straight into an advert of the next magazine. So yeah, starting small, absolutely fine. Bye bye.